Family Guy's always been on the wild side, but some moments go way beyond edgy humor. And I'm talking dark, messed up, even morally questionable stuff. From the JFK gag to Herbert's creepy obsession with Chris, these scenes don't just make you laugh, they make you straight up uncomfortable. Welcome to Quahog, where today we're going to dig into Family Guy's creepiest secrets. Join us as we uncover dark secrets, moral rot, and moments that push the line of what's acceptable in cartoon comedy. Number 5. Quagmire's dad. Family Guy has always thrived on shock value, but some moments don't just shock, they make you uncomfortable in a way that lingers. Take the episode where Peter meets Dan, who is Quagmire's father. In true Peter fashion, his first reaction is a casual, careless label, gay. It's blunt, thoughtless, and sets the stage for what comes next. The joke lands instantly, but the unease is subtle. This is humor with teeth. Then comes the twist. Brian, in another episode, goes on to sleep with Ida Davis, and when he comes to know that Ida is none other than Dan, who has now transitioned, the gag reaches its physical peak, he vomits. It's over the top, meant to be funny, but underneath is an undeniable moral unease. Instead of having a civilized conversation with Brian about it, Quagmire commences to whooping on Brian like a $2 whore that owes him money. After kicking him down the stairs and dragging him back into the kitchen through the doggy door, he disrespectfully beats him with the phone and threatens his life, to which Brian replies,
"Hey, I your dad."
The humor is not for the faint of heart and easily offended viewers with weak stomachs and should never be taken personally. However, you can't please everyone all the time. Seth MacFarlane himself has acknowledged that some of the humor here crosses lines, that even he can recognize the insensitivity in hindsight. And that acknowledgement only underscores the tension that the episode is still funny to some while horrifying to others, resulting in a morally gray zone that Family Guy inhabits better than any other cartoon. And if you think that's dark, wait until you see what happens when betrayal comes from within your own family. Number 4. Lois sleeping with Meg's boyfriend. Family Guy thrives on chaos, but some chaos hits a little too close to home. In one episode, Meg finally finds a boyfriend, a rare moment of teenage happiness. But then Lois steps in. It starts small, a casual compliment from Meg's boyfriend, praising Lois for being beautiful. That praise is all it takes to awaken temptation. Her own desire, long buried, is sparked and she doesn't resist. But it only gets worse. Lois's best friend, always a little mischievous, encourages her to act on it, normalizing betrayal and planting ideas that should never exist. The show doesn't just hint at wrongdoing, it stages it. Lois manipulates the situation, sending Meg away under some dumb excuse, clearing the way for her own indiscretion. Then comes the note writing. Lois sneaks messages to Meg's boyfriend, subtly guiding him, hinting at private opportunities, even tracking her husband's absence. The viewer sees how easily the boyfriend goes along with it, the consent bending under a combination of desire and manipulation. Family Guy frames this as comedy, but the weight of betrayal is unmistakable. It's emotional cruelty dressed up as a punchline. The episode doesn't even pause to acknowledge Meg's heartbreak. Her pain is background noise, and her humiliation is a setup for laughs. And yet, the humor is darkly brilliant in its discomfort. It forces the audience to sit with the uneasy mix of laughter and moral revulsion, to realize that Family Guy's comedy thrives on pushing boundaries until the viewer recoils. Here, betrayal isn't just an idea, it's a process. Lois seduces, manipulates, and orchestrates her own affair with calculated ease. The audience watches every step, every message, every glance, and every subtle encouragement that makes this immoral act succeed. And that's what makes this moment so disturbing. From the casual cruelty, the effortless betrayal, and the fact that in Quahog, even your own mother is capable of becoming the literal antagonist in your life story. But the thing is, manipulation and lust aren't the only creeping dangers. Some are quiet, predatory, and hide in plain sight. Number 3. Herbert the pervert. Some characters are supposed to be harmless. Neighbors, friends, background faces in a cartoon world. But then there's Herbert. Yes, Herbert the pervert. His very name gives away the darkness lurking beneath that sweet smile. The laughing voice, the cane, and the constant smile hiding something far darker beneath the surface. And it's Chris he targets, innocent, naive, completely unaware of the predator in plain sight. Herbert isn't a joke in the typical sense. He is the joke, twisted and unnerving. From songs he croons in his basement to the gifts he offers, his obsession is constant, normalized, and presented as humor. Every glance, every comment, every subtle approach is designed to be creepy, but the show frames it in pastel colors and cartoonish exaggeration, making the terror almost invisible until you notice it. The manipulation is quiet but relentless. Herbert lures Chris with candy, small favors, attention, simple things that build trust, and Chris, naive and oblivious, doesn't see the danger. The audience does, and that's what makes it horrifying. Family Guy turns predation into a running gag, and the result is moral dissonance. The joke works because it's wrong. Even more unsettling is how the show repeatedly returns to Herbert. Each new scene reinforces the pattern. Chris's vulnerability, Herbert's obsession, the normalization of disturbing behavior, and the humor? It's sharp, cruel, and impossible to ignore. Herbert and Chris is a masterclass in psychological creepiness. It's cartoonish, it's funny, but deeply unsettling because the threat feels real. In Quahog, even laughter can be a trap, and innocence is the punchline. Number 2. The JFK gag. Family Guy has always walked a fine line between satire and shock, but some jokes cross into territory that feels almost forbidden. Take JFK. The show doesn't just reference him casually, it weaponizes a real-life assassination for laughs. There's the infamous Pez dispenser gag, Oswald cutaways, and other moments where tragedy becomes punchline. At first glance, it's absurd, cartoonish, Peter in ridiculous scenarios. But underneath, there's an undeniable chill. A president's death is the joke, and the audience is complicit in laughing. The humor is sharp, unsettling, and morally questionable. Seth MacFarlane himself later admitted regret over some of these bits, acknowledging that even the creator recognized the line had been crossed. It's the collision of comedy and history that makes it truly disturbing. Family Guy thrives on this tension, forcing viewers to laugh while simultaneously questioning their own morality. Are we entertained or horrified? Each gag feels calculated, the timing, the exaggeration, the absurdity. The show tempts us into discomfort, and the darkness of the joke lingers longer than any laugh. It's a moment that reminds us why comedy can be dangerous when it toys with real tragedy. In the world of Quahog, nothing is sacred, not even a president's life. And perhaps the creepiest part, we keep laughing. Family Guy knows exactly what it's doing, and the moral unease it leaves behind is part of the joke. Number 1. The banned episode. Family Guy isn't afraid to push boundaries, but sometimes even the network says enough. That's exactly what happened with Partial Terms of Endearment, an episode so controversial it was never aired in the US. The storyline tackled abortion, morality, and legal gray areas, all wrapped in Family Guy's signature irreverent humor. Jokes that some found daring, others found offensive, sparked debates about where comedy ends and societal norms begin. It's a reminder that the show doesn't just flirt with controversy, instead it dives headfirst, exploring dark, morally complex topics in ways few cartoons dare. The episode remains a legendary example of Family Guy testing limits, a glimpse at what happens when humor collides with real-world taboos, leaving both creators and viewers unsettled. We've seen it all tonight, from Quagmire's father Ida to Lois betraying her own daughter, from Herbert praying in plain sight to jokes about a president's death. Family Guy thrives in this morally gray zone, where humor and horror collide, and the line between laughter and unease is razor thin. Each moment isn't just shocking, it's a mirror, reflecting the extremes of human behavior, obsession, and betrayal, all disguised as animated comedy. What's chilling is how effortlessly the show moves between these moments. One scene leaves you squirming with guilt, the next makes you laugh nervously, and the next pulls you into sheer discomfort. And the banned episode reminds us that even the creators can push too far. Family Guy dares to cross boundaries that few would touch, exploring topics that make us laugh, cringe, and think all at once. In the end, the creepiest moments aren't just about dark jokes or twisted gags. They're about morality, innocence, and the uncanny ease with which laughter can disguise the truly disturbing. Family Guy doesn't just entertain, it challenges us to face the humor hiding in our discomfort. Family Guy has shocked, unsettled, and made us laugh nervously tonight. But what do you think? Are these just jokes? Or does the darkness go too far? Let me know in the comments.